Okay, so I have this as my color variation. Remember, I did it as a duplicate, so at any time I can just turn off that layer and see what the black version was like. And now I have this color version. At any time I can make a duplicate of it and do another variation just by double clicking on the gray part or on the effects. So what are some other things I can do? This was the color overlay. I can turn it on or off. Do not hit the plus sign because the plus sign will give you another instance of it and it takes a ton of memory. Instead, just do what you want with each of these or with only one or two of these. You don't need to use them all, but I'll show you what they do. So stroke is another very helpful one. Stroke, you'll remember that from Illustrator, is the outline. But if you do the stroke as a layer style, you can do it on the inside of your shapes like that. You can do it on the outside of your shapes like that, or you could do it center mass, which is the default for Illustrator. For mine, it seems to make sense to do it on the inside of the shape, and then I can pick a color for it. And maybe because we're doing Earth Day, I want like a dark blue or a grayish blue. You know, something more earthy. Like that. And then that can be turned on or off. Right? I can also play with the opacity of that stroke. And that gives it a little bit of a gleam because of the gradient that's behind it. I can even give it a dissolve so that that stroke has a little bit of texture to it. But I don't like that so much, so I'm just going to go to normal. You can make it darken, you can make it lighten. Okay, the other thing that's helpful is drop shadow. Do you want a drop shadow? If you want it to have a lot of drama, right? A drop shadow is just like a drop shadow effect in Google Slides or PowerPoint, right? You can kind of play with it. The reason it looks broken up like this is because I usually like to add noise, but I'm going to take that away. Keep this a little bit cleaner. Keep it a little less opaque. Maybe spread it out a little bit more and soften it. All right, then there's the 3D effects. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see what this does. Bevel and emboss. Now, bevel and emboss will give you a shadow at the bottom of your shapes, and it will give you a highlight at the top. Right? So it's different than drop shadow, which just gives you the shadow. Now, what if I want to build color shapes behind my image? So I have this variation, which is simpler, and then I have this variation, which is a little bit more complex. Right? What if I want to build vector shapes behind it? Like I want to put it into a diamond shape. Well, then I'm going to go back to those skills we learned for exercise 2, and I'm going to use the vector shapes. So I'm actually going to use the triangles here. And I'm going to make it have no stroke. I'll just have it be filled with black first. Make it nice and big. And the best way to center it is to stretch it from end to end and then use Option to scale it towards the middle. I can hold down Shift to make it an equilateral triangle. Why not? Then I'm going to use the Move tool and Shift to move it up. And then maybe Command T, hold down Option and stretch it side to side a little bit while holding down Shift to broaden it. Okay, now let's lower that. Now I'm going to duplicate that. So Command J. And I'm going to Command T and flip it vertically. And then hold down Shift and move it down. Right? So what if I want these shapes to go behind my vector logo? I can set it to do that. Right? And what if I want effects on these? Well, how do you think I'll do the effects on these? I am going to use layer styles in the same way. Let's see. Instead of growing the triangle, I think I'll just shrink the helmet. So hold down Option. Remember, this is a vector, so it's perfectly clean. And maybe I want an offset on the helmet. And that offset I can do as an additional stroke. So this is only when you need multiples. And on this additional stroke, I'm going to make it solid white. This is what's called an offset. So it shows up on the black. And I'm going to do it on the outside. So I have the blue stroke on the inside, and I'm going to have this solid white on the outside, and I can decide on the size of it. So it cuts it out from the black. Yeah, that kind of works. And maybe I decide to turn the other stroke off. There we go. A little bit cleaner. And then, yeah, I think the drop shadow and stuff works. Now, if I wanted to color those triangles, how would I do that? I would use layer styles. So I'm going to use a different gradient. Actually, I'm not going to use a gradient at all. I'll just keep it simpler. I'll just use a color overlay. And I'll make it something warmer, like that. A little earthier, right? Now, what if I want some sort of outline around that triangle? I can do it with layer styles. This is a vector shape. And I'm going to put a stroke around it. Actually, I'm not going to use a stroke. I've already shown you strokes. So instead, I'm going to do an inner shadow. You can also do inner glows. This inner shadow, I can make any color. I'm going to make it like a deep red. And I'm going to make it go pretty far and grow it so that that deep red really affects the edge. And multiplies it, darkens it. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, now, how can I put these effects onto this triangle? You can right-click, and you can copy layer style settings. And then you can right-click, and you can paste them. So I'm going to paste them onto this triangle. And now I've got those layer styles. And maybe I want to move the triangle down a little bit. Looks like earth or soil. And then maybe I want to change its color a little bit. So I just take that attribute, and I'm just going to change the color. And maybe it looks a little bit more like sunshine or blue sky. Let me brighten it up. What would look good? Let's see. Yeah, I'll keep it kind of golden with autumn leaves. And then I might decide, okay, I don't want it as strong, or I want it more strong, right? There we go. Now, what if I want a bar in between the two? So I'll just show you this again. Instead of a triangle, this time I'll use a rectangle. And I'm going to make a new vector shape. Come on. And I'm just going to draw it. And move it, and I can transform it, I can warp it, I can do all those things. But this is just for kind of a badge behind. Okay. Now this, I am going to change it a little bit. I'm going to transform it and warp it, because what I want to do is curve this part down. There we go. So we can play with all kinds of attributes like this. And then I'm going to make another one. I'm going to put that bar right here. And I'm going to warp it. Free transform. Command T. Right click inside, warp. I'm going to pull down this edge. I'm just trying things. And pull it up. So you can do all kinds of fills behind your logo, should you, or your symbol if you like. And then I can do all kinds of layer styles to them. So for this one, I'm going to use the layer style from the brown. So I find that, and I copy it, copy layer style, paste it onto this one. Nope, that was the wrong one. No, that's the right one, sorry. Yep, paste it onto that one. Now on this one, these are all separate vector shapes. I am going to copy the layer style from the top triangle. Now this is pretty complex. All you need is to have some sort of, some sort of color variation. So I got to copy the layer style and then go to my rectangle and paste the layer style. Copy the layer style of this one, paste it onto this one. Why is it doing that? Yes. So for this, it doesn't mean you only can, but for this project, I want you to only use layer styles to add your color variations. It is going to help you. Yeah, I'm getting annoyed because it keeps not copying the yellow, so let me try it again. Right click, copy layer style. This does take a lot of memory within Photoshop. And then on this one, I want to paste that layer style. It should replace, I don't know why it's not doing it. So I'm just going to change the color overlay myself. It does look like on Photoshop, sometimes these things are glitching, which is not how it should be. Oh, it's because the inner shadow is so big it doesn't matter for the shape. I understand. Okay. There we go. It's because I just want that yellow to kind of show through. Now this one, I might want to decide has a white stroke around it. I can always add an effect. And I can make that white stroke on the outside and make it a little bit bigger. All right, so now I think I've got like my Earth Day achievement badge, right? All my color variations. And maybe I want to take all of those background shapes, which is all of this. I can put it into a group and just take that opacity down a little bit so it's kind of transparent. Or not, right? So there's all kinds of things. I can even do what's called an adjustment layer. And I can play with the hue saturation of those vector shapes while never rasterizing them. An adjustment layer is different than a direct adjustment. But I'm just going to leave it as it is. Okay. So, what do you guys think? Do you like this badge better? Or do you like this badge better? Or do you like this badge better? Yeah, so this one has the slight stroke and the slight drop shadow. So you don't always need to do a lot, right? And then the last option is I